like we as women, we have to go back foundationally. And the reason why, because God created us as incubators, we incubate a lot. And a lot of times we have to go back to our daddylessness. We have to go back to our rejection. We have to go back to the women in our family that taught us, baby, use what you got to get what you want. You know what it is. We have to go back.
Do you desire love but feel, what's the point? Do you find yourself in repeated cycles? Do you long to be his preferred choice, yet continually reduced to an alternative? No Green Beans, a woman's guide to becoming the ultimate 5-course experience, is metaphorically written to depict the woman as the dimensional dining experience she was designed to be, and not a mere side of green beans. This brilliant transformational writing challenges and compels the woman to discover her worth, position her worth, and present her worth to real men who desire, pursue, and capture. Pre-order your signed copy today at www.nogreenbeans.com.
Hey y'all, we're back. Come on in. Come on in. We are back. Come on in. We are back. Hey y'all. We are back. Come on in. Come on in. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. IG, I see you. Come on in. Facebook, I see you. We are here. What do we do, y'all? You already know. We show up and conquer. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties. It must be yummy tonight, y'all. It must be yummy tonight. So come on in, come on in, come on in. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. I'm super duper excited to be with you all tonight. Come on in. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to everyone coming in. Hello, hello, everyone. So I am Atia Samela. I am a love strategist. And what it is that I do is I teach women how to discover their worth, position their worth, and present their worth to real men who desire, pursue, and capture. And so one of the things that I do, I have a new release of my book, and it is called No Green Beans, A Woman's Guide to Becoming the Ultimate Five-Course Experience. And so what it is that I do, I come on and I do live book reviews. I do live book reviews. If you want to go ahead and do a review with us, it's a great read. People are loving it all over the place. Go ahead and go grab your copy, www.nogreenbeans.com. www.nogreenbeans.com. So on tonight, we're going to go ahead and hop right on in. We're going to be talking about the prerequisites. So for those of you that don't know, you're really going to have to get the book, you all, because you're going to be lost. So the book is metaphorically written, and it's laid out to basically depict the woman as the five-course dining experience that we were created to be. And so, ladies and gents, what it does is it helps us. I get women tools on how to present themselves holistically to men, because I hear so many times, there are no good men. I'm sorry, y'all, that's not true. I know amazing men. It's just not true. That's not my story. I can't stand men. That's not my story. And so what it is that I've decided to do was to give women tools to do what? To present themselves in a different type of way. Because ladies, when we present ourselves to the right type of man, right? And I talk about that a lot as well. Sometimes we don't get the results that we're looking for because of who it is that we're presenting ourselves to. And so what it is I do is I give you tools on how to present yourself to the right man to get the right results that it is that you need for that lasting magnetic connection. So let's go ahead and jump in. Before we get started into our teaching tonight, we have a mantra. And the mantra is what we as women live by. Kings and priests, I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I really, really am. But we're going to go through our mantra on tonight. And this is, again, what we as women live by. Number one, this is, I am committed, right, to transformation through what? Through self-awareness, authenticity, vulnerability, and transparency. So we don't ascribe here to, just being Fort Knox, nothing in, nothing out. A woman is supposed to be vulnerable. Now, that shows actually vulnerability is a sign of strength. So what we ascribe to in this community is we ascribe to authenticity, vulnerability, transparency, and self-awareness. We know how to take responsibility for our actions over here. We know how to apologize. We know how to make men feel like kings. This is what we do over here. We don't male bash. Men are amazing, right? There are kings and there are priests in the earth. We honor the man. So this is what we do over here. Number two, ladies, we are committed to doing what? To discovering and or rediscovering our value. We are committed to discovering our value and rediscovering our value. For some of us, we've never discovered our value. We've never discovered it. And so this is why we find ourselves going in cycles in relationships. We find ourselves very frustrated because we're going around the mountain. And then it's like, I'm tired of men. There are no good men out there. When the fact of the matter is we need to learn how to do introspection and then discover our value and then do what? We present it in a different way. And then some of us have to rediscover our value through the course of time, right? Things happen, whether it's relationships. Some of us, our value was stripped of us because of the things that we've heard and things of that nature. So sometimes we have to rediscover our value. Number three, we are committed to taking responsibility for what, ladies? For our own actions and not blaming others. Y'all already know. We take responsibility, ladies, for our own actions, and we do not blame others. Number four, we are committed to speaking only that which gives life. So what does that mean, my gems and jewels? I walk away first before I allow anyone to unseat me. Why? Because I'm a queen and we're seated where? On our thrones. And so we clearly, women of value, we clearly do not allow anyone to unseat us, do we? So if that's the case, we walk away first, right? But we are committed to doing what? To speaking only that which gives life, because we understand our value. We understand that we are life givers. So if we can't do that, then we won't do anything, right? Right. Number 5. This is one of my favorites. I need y'all to lean in. This is one of my favorites. Number 5. We are committed to discovering the courage to look within and accept the hard but liberating truth, ladies. It was me. It was us. It wasn't the man this time. We don't have anything to blame them for. This time, it was us. I was the manipulator. I was the provoker. I was the user. I was the seductress. I was the plotter. I was the one who sabotaged. I was the mistress. I was the conspirator. I was the petty one. I'm the one that hit below the belt, right? I'm the one that did that, because sometimes, ladies, and I know we talked about this before, but we are so quick to tell men when they're wrong. The men are going to know when they're wrong, but what about when it's us, right, ladies? And so our mantra, what it is that we do, is we take responsibility for our actions, because that's what women of value do. Number 6, we are committed to valuing, forgiving, loving, and honoring ourselves. Number 7, we are committed to valuing, honoring, cherishing, respecting our bodies. Therefore, we will not allow it to be misused, abused, and or mishandled. We are, number 8, we are committed to reclaiming the fragments of our souls. So what do, ladies? We don't get over by getting under. We certainly don't ascribe to that theory, right? We believe in taking the time that is necessary to do the proper work to reclaim the fragments of our souls that we gave away, suppressed, neglected, abandoned, or simply ignored. Number 9, we are committed to respecting all kings and priests in our sphere of influence. Lean in as a lifestyle. As a lifestyle. That's what we are committed to do. We are committed to honoring and respecting the man as a lifestyle. And finally, number 10, we are committed to resisting the temptation to allow our influence, that means who we are, that means how many figures that we have, that means where we live, how many investment properties we have, what it is that we do. We refrain from allowing that influence and status to deceive us, ladies, from realizing when we need to make healthy adjustments in ourselves. So clearly in this community and women of value, we don't hide behind what it is that we have when we need to make healthy adjustments. So there it is. That is our mantra on page 7. So tonight we're going to be talking about the prerequisite. The prerequisite. And a prerequisite is what? It's something that is required as a condition, right, for something that is to happen next. And so what we're going to talk about on tonight is the do's and don'ts of dating. We're talking about our prerequisites. And so what is a prerequisite? Before, ladies, we want to date, and before we're going to show up as women of value in our own lives, how can we show up as a woman of value when we don't understand our value? And so a prerequisite before we come into a man's life, this is something that we have to already have done. Right? This is something that we have to already have taken the time, and we show up in this manner. So number 1, a prerequisite, ladies, is understanding your value. And how is it that we understand our value? We have to go back, because we have to understand where our value is derived from. We are women from all different walks of life. And I say it all the time. We're like candy in a candy shop. So no wonder sometimes men can't make up their minds, right? I mean, we come in all different shapes, we come in different sizes, we come in different colors, different attributes. And a man is just like, heck, I can't make up my mind. I want this one, I want that one, I want this one, right? And so that's the beauty of a woman. That's the beauty of a woman. But we have to understand our foundational value. And so that means that we have to go back to the foundation. We have to understand from where our value derived, right? So we talking about our value system. What is a value system? It's the things in life that we were growing up. It's what shaped our value. So, for instance, prime example: a lady has had a very healthy relationship with her father, or a male figure, or a mentor, right? And she was told all of her life she was a princess, and so she was taught how to be treated by a man. Then more than likely she's going to have a healthy sense of value, right? And she's going to know, she's going to have confidence, and she's going to know what it is that she deserves. We have some women that's not our story. Some of us have gone through other things that cause us not to see ourselves as valuable. Some of us, our value has been stripped for whatever reason. So a value is basically derived from what our value system is. And that has to be, ladies, that has to be identified, it has to be shaped, and it has to be nurtured. Before we can present anything to a man, we have to know that for ourselves. We have to know it for ourselves. So I'm going to get into some do's and don'ts of dating, some prerequisites. Number one, ladies, is we must understand what our purpose and desires are. We must understand what our purpose and our desires are, because if we don't understand what they are, how can we effectively communicate that? And so when we don't understand who it is that we are, and we don't know how to effectively communicate that, what is it that we do? We then give someone else permission to come into our space and to treat us as they will. Right? So we then give other people permission to come in and then value us in their value system. And so for some men, their value system could be mishandling and calling you out your name and not respecting you for a woman. So when you don't understand, number one, ladies, what your purpose and what your desires are, and you lack the ability to be able to effectively communicate what it is that you desire, you then again, you give someone else the opportunity to basically treat you as they will. So what is another prerequisite? Another prerequisite is to thine own self be true. Be integral with yourself and with others. Do not use each other. Do not use people for your personal gain. We're talking about a prerequisite, and I say it all the time. Women of value, when you really understand your value, ladies, we're clearly not using men to just because of what they can do for us. Women of value, someone that's really solid in who it is that she is as a woman, we're really not using that negative energy to use a man for what it is that they can provide. Right? Women of value just do not do that. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're coming from a place of integrity, right? We're talking about a prerequisite to get what it is that you desire. And I say all the time, what I do is I help women discover their worth, position their worth, and present their worth to real men who desire, pursue, and capture. So if in fact you're tired of playing games, if in fact you're tired of being ghosted, if in fact you're tired of, sleeping with men and they're gone, if you're tired of that and you really desire something meaningful, this is where I come in. So if you're really not at that point yet, you probably won't be able to benefit from this platform, because what we do here is we get real results. But the real results, ladies, it comes from within, right? So we clearly don't look for men for our holistic happiness, right? It comes from within. Right? It comes from within. So number 3, the do's of dating. What is it that you do? Another prerequisite is enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. When you first go out on a date, be light. They're not your husband. He's not your husband. No, be light. Take your time with it. Be a friend. Just laugh. And it's okay to show interest, but don't give too much too soon, and don't expect too much too soon. I was on a date with a gentleman, and he asked me, he said, so Atia, he said, what are your expectations of me? And I clearly said to him, I said, I don't really have any expectations of you. And here is why. and this is just my thought process. For me to have an expectation of you, that would mean that for me, it probably could be unrealistic. Because what I do, and this has been very effective for me, and I'd like to give you this nugget, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever you meet someone, you take that person for who it is that they are. You don't try to adjust them, you don't try to change them. And so, as you're getting to know a person, and if you feel like, I probably can rock with Shorty. Let me see where this is going. That's one thing. But if you have an expectation, then it's easy for you to be disappointed. Right? It's easy for you to be disappointed. If you're on your first date with someone, an expectation. So I don't mean, let me be clear. Let me be clear. So of course, for ladies, I mean, of course, a gentleman should be a gentleman. So a man should, open doors for you, and pull out your chair and treat you like a lady. I don't mean that level of expectation. I mean getting too deep into something too soon. So always allow someone to be who they are, and you make the decision, my love, if who they are is will be able to be aligned with you, period. So that way you don't have any expectations. You don't. Okay. So, number four, it's okay to let them know that you are interested, but I really don't suggest that you're be too thirsty, too overbearing. I say it all the time. Ladies, we need to learn how to lean back and allow a man to lead. That doesn't mean chasing. I mean, we're all full grown, right? We're all adults. So we clearly do not ascribe to a man chasing, right? We don't ascribe to a man chasing. I know I don't. Because if I have an interest in someone, then I'm going to slow down a little bit so you can catch me, right? I'm going to let you know that the feeling is mutual. So we certainly don't play a cat and mouse game. Now, you have different people that believe and think different ways. I just believe that if we're both adults, we can have a mutual interest. However, ladies, we have to allow a man to drive, because if we do not allow a man to drive, it will be very difficult for us to be able to determine what his interest level is. Because if we don't allow him to drive, right, then we won't know whether he is initiating or whether he's responding. I'll say it again. Ladies, if we do not allow the man to drive, right, we will not be able to determine whether he is initiating or whether he is responding to what we initiate. If you're the one planning dates, if you're the one, hey, I got tickets, come on, let's go do this. If you're the one, hey, you want to come over? And it's nothing wrong with that, but it could be too much too soon, because again, that may not be his interest. That may not be his initiated interest. That may be him responding to your initiation. So how do you prevent that? You simply allow the man to drive. You simply allow the man to drive. And because you understand your purpose, ladies, you understand if where he's taking you is okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself. That's a chapter in the book. We talk about the navigation system, and I have a whole coaching program around the navigation system, which is how to know if a man is really, really into you. And that's one of the reasons how you'll know. Number five is you want to maintain your standard. What is your prerequisite? You want to maintain your standard. And how is it, ladies, that you can maintain your standard? My love, you have to have one. How do you maintain your standard? You have to have one. And if you don't have any, may I please suggest to you that you get one, that you get a few, that you get a few standards that give a man a boundary that comes into your life that says, no, you do not have permission to do that, in a nice way. Because if we don't have boundaries, then again, we allow people to come into our lives and do what it is that they want. And can I please be honest? Men need boundaries, ladies. Ladies, they need them. They need them. Men need boundaries. Men need boundaries. Okay, so number six that goes into it, create boundaries and then maintain them. If you have a standard, if you have a standard, okay, Your standard should not be compromised based upon how much you like a guy. Ladies, it goes back to number one, understanding your purpose and your desire. Understanding your purpose and understanding your desire. And so, if you are willing to compromise your standard, I don't mean make an adjustment, right? Because an adjustment is not really a standard. I do certainly believe that we should be able to make adjustments, right? However, your standard, my love, is your standard. And that's something that should be non negotiable. And it does not matter, again, how much you like a person. I choose me. And your standard is a part of your value system, right? A standard is a part of your value system. Um, what is another prerequisite? Be a protector of your peace and your space. Be a protector of your peace and your space. Going back to your standard and your values. Please do not allow anyone to barge into your life full speed ahead. You don't allow anyone to barge into your life full speed ahead. But my love, if you're not solid, if you're not resolved in who it is that you are, then you're barging as well. And I say all the time, chemistry is wonderful. If you're feeling each other, that's wonderful. But my love, you have to slow walk. Because when we move too fast, a lot of times we miss things that need to be seen. You have to think with head and heart. I may like you. I mean, boo, I'm feeling you. But guess what? My eyes is open. My eyes are open. I'm not emotionally led. You have to be sober. Because a lot of times, ladies, we are led by our emotions, and our emotions have us crying in the corner. Our emotions have us stalking people's pages. Our emotions have us sabotaging. Our emotions have us bitter and hard toward men. We have to lead with head and heart. Our emotions will have us hating men for what it is that we allow. Oh, wow. I need to say that again. Our emotions, gems and jewels, when not balanced, will have us hating men for what we allow. I say it all the time in the book, ladies. Someone can only do what you allow them to do. Now, I'll be the first to say, I think it's happened to the best of us. I mean, you just have some men, they good. You like, how you pull that off, right? They're good. They're good at what they do. They're good at being master manipulators. They're good at what they do. However, assessment is very, very important. Very, very important. So, what is another prerequisite? We're talking about the prerequisites before we get into the 5-course dining experience. We're talking about the prerequisites to building a foundation that begins with you, not with the man. It begins with you. And number 8 is to establish a bond of friendship, intimacy, vulnerability, and honesty, which creates trust. I'm going to be doing a master class really, really soon talking about intimacy, because I am inclined to believe, thank you, so glad you're enjoying it. I am inclined to believe we don't, we as a people, we do not understand the ingredients that build, that make a lasting connection. Some of us have it totally twisted because we think that good sex is it. And if I could be honest, just think about it. I need y'all to think about it for 1 minute. Think about the best sex that you've ever had, right? And I want you to think about it. More than likely, it was a situationship, it was an entanglement, or it was toxic. Think about it. And that was the premise of the relationship. It's coming. It's coming. The masterclass is coming. So I have a masterclass coming up, and we're going to be taking a deep dive into intimacy. I'm telling y'all have to go get the book, www.nogreenbeans.com, because this book, ladies, this is a roadmap. This is not just a read. This is a roadmap that if you follow it, you will be in a different place with yourself and with the men you date. I can promise you, if you follow the roadmap. And if you're tired of where you are and you desire to be in a different space, you know you're an amazing woman. You know these things, but you're like, why the heck do I keep coming up short? Why do men just look at me as a booty call and not a girlfriend or not a wife? Right? So if you desire, if you want to know, then that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, because I help you get prepared for real men that's going to desire you, that's going to pursue you, and that's going to capture you. Period. Period, you all. Period. He's going to desire you, he's going to pursue you, and he's going to capture you. And it's all in the book, so go ahead and get it. Going back to the master class, because I am inclined to believe that we have no idea what intimacy does in a relationship. We have no idea what intimacy does in a relationship. And I don't mean sexual intimacy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about intimacy that is derived from two things, which is vulnerability and trust. Two of the main things that so many of us that call ourselves, that we desire to want to be in relationships, but we're not like Fort Knox, you all, nothing in, nothing out. I'm not doing that. I'm not letting anyone in. Nothing in, nothing out. So if you want to do something different, if you desire something different, we have to do something different. And I can help you get there. I can certainly help you get there. So we talked about the do's. We're still talking about prerequisites, okay? I'm going to talk about the don'ts. We have a few more minutes. Do not waste your time. We're talking about prerequisites here. Do not waste your time. Again, going back to being a protector of your space, women value. If you desire to go out, you take yourself out. Clearly, take yourself out. Get dressed, take yourself out. No fillers. So if you desire a certain type of man, or my kings and my priests, if you're here, you desire a certain type of woman. Because fillers can block. If they're not what it is that you desire, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Do not waste your time. No fillers. If it does not fit, don't force it. If it does not fit, don't force it. Can we put that in the chat, please? If it doesn't fit, I'm not going to force it. I need that to be a commitment to yourself. I'm not doing anything out of boredom. I'm not doing anything because, oh, I just wanted something to do. No, if it doesn't fit, we're not going to force it. We're not forcing it. Number 2, do not allow yourself to be placed on ice. What does that mean? So, stationary or circles with no definition. Don't allow anyone to put you on ice. You don't allow anyone, again, going back to our purpose. This is a prerequisite, ladies and gentlemen. Gems, jewels, kings, and priests. Because our first prerequisite was doing what? Understanding our purpose and understanding our value and understanding what it is that we desire. And so you cannot allow someone to put you on ice. What does that mean? Someone that's really not ready, but they want you to, they really not ready and they don't want you, but they don't want anyone else to have you. And so they'll put you on ice. No, thank you. Do not allow yourself to be placed on ice. You have a man or you have a woman in your life that calls you every once in a while, and y'all hook up and you don't see him for another 2 weeks, and then you hook up again, and it's the same thing. Now, if that's what you want, if you're okay with that, but if you're not, let's do something different, and I can help you do that to get different results. So, number 2, do not allow yourself to be put on ice. Let me say this. Anything that cannot be defined does not have a purpose. If y'all didn't get anything else I said tonight, Anything that cannot be defined does not have a purpose. What does that mean? If you have to look up and you have to keep asking him, what are we? If you have to ask her, what are we? If you have to keep asking, where is this going? My love, can I tell you it's going nowhere? Because a man that is ready, again, what is it that I do? What is my mission? My mission is to help women discover their worth, position their worth, and to present their worth to real men who do three things: who desire you, who pursue you, and who capture you. Period. And when you meet a man that's ready, a lot of times, ladies, I need y'all to lean in. I'm inclined to believe that we're misaligned when it comes to dating. And I say all the time, there are different stages of singleness. I'll use a prime example. So you're dating someone, right? And he may have just come out of a 5-year relationship. He's trying to breathe. He not really looking for nothing serious. You've been single for quite some time. And so now you're ready for something serious. So I have a question. Do you feel like that's the best use of your time? Do you feel like it's the best use of your time? Because my sweetheart, I can tell you, he may desire you, but he's not at that place to pursue and capture you because he's trying to breathe. So in singleness, you want to make sure you are aligned. You want to make sure you're aligned so you don't have to keep asking questions. And then your questions that's derived from your desire, girl, you're giving him a headache because he's not even there yet. He's not there yet. So when you're aligned with a man, when you meet a man that's ready to desire, pursue, and capture, my love, there will be no question. He's going to make it known. He's going to make it known. You're going to be like, okay, hold on. Let me give this some thought for a minute. Let me give this some thought, because that's just what men do when they're ready. That's just what men do when they are ready. So again, you don't want to compromise your values or your standards. Let them go first. And this goes for men as well. And I say it, kings and priests, you should have a standard as well. You shouldn't allow women to disrespect you and all of that just because she's good in bed. Like, kings and priests, you should have a standard as well. I don't think disrespect and us mishandling, one another should be tolerated on any part. Ladies, we should not be mishandling men like that. Women of value do not do that. Women of value do not control men with their sexual prowess. We just don't do that. Because I understand my value, and I understand my value is worth more than my sexual experience. So clearly I'm not doing that, because that doesn't serve me. I'm operating from my lower self, not from my higher, queenly, sober self that says I understand who I am holistically as a woman. That's what that says. That's what it says. Okay? So, number 4, what is another prerequisite? We talked about it, but I'm going to say it again. Do not expect too much too soon, and don't give too much too soon. Don't expect too much too soon, and don't give too much too soon. Don't expect too much too soon, and don't give too much too soon. I gotta say it one more time. Don't expect too much too soon, and don't give too much too soon. Ladies, we should be a mystery. And just in case you don't know, men love mysteries. They love women that are intriguing, because men love a challenge. And so if a man can figure you out, I have many, many, many platonic male friends. Because of the coaching space that I'm in, because of other spaces that I'm in. And I hear it all the time, that men say, I can meet a woman, and within the first 3 to 5 minutes, I can tell if I can sleep with her or not. Ladies, we should not be that open. We should not be that much of an open book. There should be some discretion. There should be something about us that is intriguing, that makes a man be like, wait, let me lean in. What? There's something about you, girl. It's something about you, girl. But if a man has already figured you out, you're predictable. I can help you with that, though. I promise I can. I promise you I can. Because women of value, we are amazing. And it's time to start presenting ourselves in that way. It's time to start presenting ourselves in that way. Number 5, okay, another prerequisite: do not get over someone by getting under someone else. That's operating from our lower self. That's not operating from a place of sobriety. It's not operating from a place of really maturity. And it's not operating from a space of self awareness that says, I love myself enough to breathe and take a break. And a lot of times, what happens is that when we get in another relationship or a situationship or an entanglement, a lot of times they look the same way because we haven't even taken the time to separate our souls, to reclaim the fragments of our soul from the last thing. And so now I'm dragging this in, and now I don't even know how to separate you from him. I don't know how to separate you from her. I don't know how to do that because it's too many people. It's too much that's crowding my soul. So I have a challenge for you. Give your soul a rest. Reclaim. I just posted a video the other day. Reclaim the fragments of your soul, my loves. Reclaim it. Take a break. Put a do not disturb sign up. Because if in fact you're desiring this magnetic connection that's so possible, it's so tangible, I promise you it is. We just have to tweak some things, right? We just have to tweak some things, and it begins with us, right? So if you're really serious and you really desire something meaningful, my love, you're going to have to reclaim the fragments of your soul. You're going to have to. Because if not, you're going to subconsciously give a man or a woman the broken parts of you that you don't even know that's missing. And that's challenging. It's challenging. And then what tends to happen is you tend to draw the same types of people. And so now you go in a cycle of toxicity. You go in a cycle of toxicity. Why? Because what's broken in you, what needs to be healed, is now drawing the same thing. And so now it's the same person, it's just a different name. And it's just a cycle. And it's just a cycle. But I can help you with that. I certainly can. I promise you I can. So number six. Don't be inauthentic. Be who it is that you are. And I got to say this to my ladies right now, because we are masters at wearing masks. We don't want, I told you I have lots of male platonic friends, and I hear men say it a lot. Like, women, sometimes we just plastic. We even say it amongst ourselves. That's why I don't have too many girlfriends, because they're phony. Women, we have to be authentic. Showing your flaws and your frailties. Can I tell you, men don't fall in love with perfect women. They just don't. You can't ever have a vulnerable moment. You're so tough and you're so hard that you never have a bad day, and you never feel like, that he doesn't feel like you even need him for anything. It's okay to show your vulnerabilities, because that's actually a strength. It's actually a strength. And so last but certainly not least, do not force it. This is a prerequisite. I said it before, but I'll have to say it again. Do not force it. There should be a consistent, compatible chemistry between the two of you. And I don't mean hit it and quit it for 2 weeks and then they're gone. Or for a month. I mean, y'all go hard. Y'all just binging and then they out of sight. You binging for a whole month and then they're ghosts. If that's what you desire, but if it's not, I can help you with it. I can help you with it. I can help you discover your worth, position your worth, and present your worth to real men that's going to desire you, that's going to pursue you, and that's going to capture you. Period. It's possible. So you don't have to believe that lie that there are no good men and that all men are dogs. That is certainly not the truth, sweetheart. Certainly not. And kings and priests, that's not the truth. Now I know if sometimes it's a few and far in between, but that's what I talk about in the book, ladies. I talk about being a rarity. What is a rarity? A rarity is something rare. It's a treasure that's like, it's like a precious jewel, and when you see it, it's like, wow, I've never seen that before. There's a fragrance that should come with you. It's a rarity. No one, you can't be compared with anyone else because you're a rarity. You are. So that's it for tonight. That is our book review for tonight. I need you to please go order your book, No Green Beans, A Woman's Guide to Becoming the Ultimate 5-Course Experience. We're going to be going through, I'll be with you monthly. I do have some master classes coming up. One specifically talking about intimacy, because if you're going to have something that's meaningful, magnetic, a lasting attraction, it's going to require intimacy. And intimacy is that intangible thing, you all. It's that intangible thing. It's that intangible thing that does what, ladies? That makes a man feel safe and that makes him feel secure. I did a survey in this book. You all. And it is page 123, Real Men, Real Answers. And I spent 2 years, you all, doing a survey. And I asked men from all different walks of life, what are the top 3 things that you need from your lady? And you know what they said? All of them were aligned with the same thing: trust, respect, and loyalty. Trust, respect, and loyalty. Sex was probably, out of all the men that I surveyed, it was probably 1%. And that's not to say that sex was not important to the man, but when it came to what he needed, ladies, can I just tell you right now, 10:03 Eastern Standard Time, 10:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, any man that's watching me, they can go and buy sex right now on the corner. Never see the woman again, don't know her name, no attachment, and be gone. What does that tell you about sex? It's overrated and it's undervalued. It's overrated and it's undervalued. Ladies, we're worth so much more. And it's time to start presenting ourselves as such. Because when you understand how to create a safe space for a man, you can get something more than his sex game, and that's his heart. And that's how men love, through their emotions. That's why a man can have sex with a woman and don't even know her name. There's no emotional attachment. And so if you're really desiring to really connect with a man, I can show you how. But it doesn't start with them, ladies. It starts with us. And it starts with having the ability to create a safe space. And so before you can create a safe space for a man, you have to be a safe space within yourself. Because you can't carry toxicity, my love, and be a safe space. Doesn't work. It's poison. You're poison. And when he comes and draws from you, he gets sick. That's why he don't want to be around. Because you curse him out, you nag, you just say things to tear him down and not build him up. But it's okay because I can help you. Because what I do is I teach women how to discover their worth, position their worth, and present their worth to who? To real men who desire, who pursue, and who capture. And so if you desire that, if you're a lady, if you want to do that, you can certainly schedule a discovery call with me. Because I really believe that it's really time. I feel like a lot of us women, we desire, but we just don't know how. And it's okay. Because can I be 100% honest? I didn't always know how, y'all. I didn't. There was a time that I did not understand my value. And how did I know? Because it showed up in the results of my relationships. Okay? So this is something that's near and dear to my heart. It really, really is, because women, we are amazing. And there's a certain level of influence that God has given us that we have, but we have to learn how to use it in a way that advances the man to the best of his ability. We have to learn how to do that, because all of us weren't taught how to do that. All of us weren't taught how to be, to respect and honor men. All of us weren't taught how to be a safe space for a man. Because why? It goes back to our value system. And a lot of times we allow hurt and pain and other things to be able to contribute to the space. Okay, so that's it for tonight. I have several master classes coming up. Make sure you are following, stay plugged in, because we're getting ready to get right. We are ready to get right. We are ready. We're going to be that 5-course experience. And what is a 5-course experience? What is a 5-course experience? A 5-course experience is a holistic woman to the real man, right? To the real man, to the right man that does what? That desire, pursues, and captures. That it doesn't matter what else he sees. That the holistic woman that you are will be enough for him. You'll be enough. You'll be enough. I promise you will. However, you have to make sure you're presenting yourself to the right man, because it's not for everybody. Every man is not ready. Every man is not ready. Okay, so go ahead, order the book, www.nogreenbeans.com, www.nogreenbeans.com. Stay plugged in, stay plugged in. We have a masterclass. We have several coming up, but we certainly have one coming up with regard to intimacy. Okay, so that's all for tonight. I am Atia Samela. I am your love strategist, and I help you position for what it is that you desire. I help you get positioned, because it's not enough just to desire. You have to be intentional and you have to be strategic. Okay, and so again, I am Atia Samela, and I help women discover their worth, position their worth, and present their worth to who? To real men who desire, who pursue, and who capture. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Y'all have a great night.